Thank you.
Senator Manchin.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Thank you, Secretary, for being here. Recently, the President vetoed a bipartisan congressional resolution overturning the National Labor Relations Board NLRB rule, redefining who is a joint employer. The rule from NLRB will put the franchise model at risk, and I think you know how I feel about this. Small businesses are the heart of the economy in our communities, especially in our little state of West Virginia, which we love dearly, where more than 98% of our businesses are small businesses. 1 out of every 3 franchise owners say they wouldn't own a small business without the franchise business model. That's a tremendous 1 in 3, 33%. The last time NLRB tried this study, a study found that the policy led to 376,000 fewer jobs and $33 billion in lost output across the economy. Well, a federal judge has currently blocked this rule from taking effect. I'm concerned what will happen if it does take effect. So my question would be, there continues to be bipartisan concern with what the NLRB is proposing. What does your department plan to do to curb the job and economic output loss we experienced the last time, if this would go into effect, and are you all still pushing it for it to be effective?
So, Senator, it's nice to see you. I know everybody knows, but I will say this. The NLRB is a separate entity from the Department of Labor. The joint employer rule is not something that the Department of Labor has pursued or that we have put on our regulatory agenda. I will say, one of the things—
We tried to get rid of it, but the President he vetoed us. The President overrode us. You know, we tried to get rid of it, but he vetoed it. So he must believe, and the administration must believe in the rule the way the rule's been.
Yeah, that is not a rule that the Department of Labor pursued or put into effect. I will say those—
Do you acknowledge the job? Can you acknowledge the job losses that came when they did implement it the last time?
I mean, Senator, I don't have any data about that, but I will acknowledge the conversations we have had and the important role that franchisees and franchisors played. I know we've talked about this too.
Sure.
My own parents owned a franchisee business, and so I understand and have lived the benefits that such a business creates.
If you would do me a favor with your able staff here, if they would just check and find out if that's accurate, the amount of jobs that we know have been lost before, or our statistics show us, and the amount of revenue it's caused to our economy, then maybe that would make the President and his administration take a different look at this in a different way. We're very hopeful.
I mean, Senator, I know you know this, but since the President came into office, 15.4 million jobs have been added to the economy, at the same time that the unemployment rate remains very low. It's been under 4% for 27 months straight. I know that's already been said as well. So we are in a moment of tremendous job creation, in no small part due to the investments that are being made through the President's Investing in America agenda, which this body was obviously very critical in helping to make possible.
And the bills that we all passed in a bipartisan way, and even the IRA bill, the way it's being implemented is different than the way we wrote it. So there's going to be a lot of legal cases that they're going to lose, because they're overstepping their boundary of how they're implementing. And I've said this many, many times. You're trying to implement a bill you never passed. I know the bills because we wrote them. We all worked on them. We wrote the bills. We know what they are in them. And they're expanding those to a position that it's going to exasperate the position we've taken. Bring manufacturing back to America. You can't bring manufacturing back if you relax the rules on where you get your critical minerals and where you produce them. And if you allow China to keep doing, all you're doing is promoting China's dominance in the market. My final question was this. Department of Labor's Schedule A shortage occupation list was designed to address workforce shortages by streamlining the process of hiring vetted international workers in high-demand industries like science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, and also healthcare. Schedule A is an important tool that exempts workers in understaffed industries from bureaucratic visa hurdles and backlogs. Despite having the authority to revise the Schedule A list, the department has not updated it to include more than 2 specific occupations, professional nurses and physical therapists since 2005. While the department has not updated the list in over 20 years, I was pleased to see the request for information, RFI, on how the Schedule A occupation list could be modernized to include STEM occupations for which there is a demonstrated labor shortage. So what is the department's timeline to provide an updated on Schedule A list? I'm glad you are taking it serious.
Yes, so that's what I was going to say. We did do an RFI on this to figure out exactly what we needed to do, and I can certainly get back to you more with the timeline. I thought, Senator, you were going to ask me about a rule that you had wanted to get done that we did get over the finish line, which is I was in Uniontown, Pennsylvania recently to announce our silica rule, which is going to save thousands of lives and prevent thousands of injuries
Let me
for mine
thank you for
workers,
that.
but we didn't get to talk
I'm
about
so sorry.
it.
I want to thank you for that because it did help. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry.